back, you gorgeous people. My name's Owen. HP Tuners, obviously. Come at us for any of that stuff. Anyway, we're not talking about that today. Stu's been on camera because we turned up. We've managed to book something in interesting yet again, just by chance. So today we've got an engine swap caddy. It's a Mark V, bullet points. I mean, there's a lot of them. Mark V GTI engines, TFSI. It makes about 310 horsepower. The car is mint.
Actually, it makes 309.5 horsepower because it's just come off of the dyno.
That's very specific, Stu. How would you know that? Oh, that's because we're at Road Rage Performance. Anyway, so yeah, there's always going to be someone dragging a trolley jack when you want to try and start filming, isn't there? So anyway, it's Mark V GTI, makes 309 point whatever horsepower you just said. It's got Porsche Cayenne brakes, the extra handbrake caliper. There's so many little details on this car. When we get stuck into it, I think you're really going to like it. Who wants a fast fan, apart from Stu? This guy. Whenever we have a shoot, there wasn't wind this morning and it was bright and sunny, but now it looks like it's going to rain and it's windy. Anyway, do you want to see how you get to work really fast? There we go. That's what 310 horsepower looks like these days. It looks like a factory engine bay, but this would have had a diesel in it to start off with. And the fact that the installation is absolutely factory, much like your van, Stuart.
Yeah.
It looks like it belongs in there. It's got a KO3 hybrid turbo on it, but from what I can see under the engine cover, I have had a look under this, but it's got a Forged Motorsport breather system on there. Everything else is reasonably stock, ram air intake, and as I said, KO3S hybrid, but it's a van at the end of the day, 309 horsepower in a van. The guy uses it, it's his daily, it's his work van, and he's still got all his tools in the back. So he's having fun and he's doing it for work as well. So really, there's not much more you could want, really, collectively, like you use your van for. It's an all-rounder, isn't it?
Yeah, I like my van. Track van, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
But this is on air ride, isn't it?
This is on plush air, so when we put the ignition on in a minute, we'll see that. It looks great. It's on forged wheels. It's got all-track arches on it, which is, again, another little difference because Volkswagen did a four-wheel drive version of a Caddy that looked a little bit different, but it had these plastic arches, which is just another little difference that Gary's used to make it stand out a little bit. I think it's a great-looking car. Front end, have a look at that. So that's the Mark 7 Golf front bumper. So it's been sort of cut, plastic welded, shrunk, stretched, and all the rest of it to make it look like it looks like it belongs on there, but no front plate, as I do, because I think a front plate on a British car ruins the front end. But it's got a nice smooth front on it, and the paint is like it's a really tidy little car. Should we put the ignition on? I want to see what happens.
I want to see it go up. Oh, put the handbrake on maybe before it rolls away.
There's dials in the front that show the air pressure on, like for how everything's sitting. But have you got those brakes in? Porsche Porsche Cayenne front brakes. I mean, the discs are 390mm discs. Like, that's the sort of stuff that Leon's got on his Porsche. I've got 3 race cars and none of them got brakes that big on it. So I'd imagine the brakes are pretty good. Cayenne rear brakes as well. Obviously, that wouldn't have had on these discs and pads on the back, there wouldn't have been a handbrake cable, whereas the Caddy would have had a handbrake cable for the drum mech at the back. But there's an extra caliper on there which has had a system fabricated so you can still use a separate caliper with the cable on there. Inside, my favourite seats at the moment.
I think everyone's near enough favourite seats.
And also, a side note, if anyone's got any Recaro CSs that you fancy donating to Motor Addicts, I want some for the Datsun, I want some for the Porsche as well. But currently, my favourite seats, look at these. Lovely. I've just seen a 0.1 shifter in there. That is a nice bit of kit. Look at that. But it's lush, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a factory type van, just with a few extras. It's like, if they did a Caddy Gti, that is probably what it would have come like. Bar the shifter, obviously, that's a bit extreme. But yeah, it's a great little car. I mean, who doesn't want to drive a 310 horsepower van? Well, we do, so we're going to do just that.
first of all, thank you very much to Gary, the owner of the car.
Thanks, Gary.
Who doesn't want to be in the video, but we do.
It's got seats in the back, I've just seen that. Leather seats.
Oh, I didn't know that. There we go.
So it's a car work van, performance.
I wouldn't want to sit in the back, would you?
Well, we wouldn't fit in the back, but if he's got
We may
little
test
ones,
that on the way back. When I have a go in it, we may put Owen in the back, see where...
There's no chance I'm going to fit in the back of this.
Alright, well, let's see what 310 horsepower... It's sorry, it is a lovely van.
We don't do swearing, do we, Stu?
No, we don't swear fucking at all. But I've got to say, I'm slightly in love with this van.
I kind of love it a little bit.
I've started becoming a bit of a modified van person.
Man, and what are the chances we'd see this today and be like, do you know what?
That's really cool.
I fancy that.
Yeah.
That's 2 cars I've been in today and I thought, I really want that.
This makes me want a Caddy more.
I know, he's cool, isn't
Isn't it?
Now, I will get the name off of Gary, but he did mention the people that did the engine swap, and they're from Wales.
Right, okay.
WAF and something, I'll find out. But they need to be recommended because the engine swap is so clean. This is nice, and it drives. It's a little bit bumpy, but it drives like a stock car. If you want to go and do your work really quick, this is the van for you. Whoop! I was slipping the tyres then. The traction control.
Is he just stopping it?
Yeah, the traction control's fighting it. That's off now. Ooh.
Traction control button.
He did say you could turn it off, but I could feel it trying to spin the tyres in second.
Did the light come up?
Not yet. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. This is a tidy little van, you know.
I like it.
It sounds good, doesn't it? I don't want, it's not our car,
No.
so I don't want to rev the nut off it. That's it. I don't
Right
wanna go
noise,
too mad.
isn't it?
Yeah. I want to go too mad. What's that?
What's that binging? There's loads of binging.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a 5 or a 6 speed, so I'm not going to try and put it into 6th gear if it hasn't got one. It sounds well good, doesn't it?
Sounds like it's screaming at you.
Recaro seat. I'm definitely getting a set of these seats. I'm 100% getting a set of these seats. When I can afford it. And one of our viewers must know someone with a set of these seats for sale. Recaro seat.
It must be cheaper to get it written off the Corsa, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be the most valuable part of the Corsa, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. You're not wrong from that.
Right, I'm letting this truck go because I'm not having anything to do with that. There's no way the guy's lent us his car.
I've noticed your lack of snatching gears now.
Well, I'm trying to be gentle. It's not my car,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to be gentle with it.
5.0.
Yep, just being gentle. It's the wrong noise for a van, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to be sensible for the moment. Stu, you can cut this out at a later
I
date.
will cut this out because there's 5.0, so
Just driving normally. 55. This is probably a 60 along here, isn't it?
it is probably a 60. But yeah, we'll just behave ourselves at the moment.
So put some lift music in the background while we're driving.
Lift music?
Yeah, you know, lift music. It's like do 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 do. They have it in the background, the lifts in America.
Right, now there's no old Bill. We love our piglet friends.
We do, yeah.
They keep us safe at night. Oh shit, he's coming like a forks, that Mercedes. Yeah. That's just spinning.
For a work van?
You don't realise the speed till you look at the
No,
speedo.
and I think that is the thing about, like I've said about modern cars,
Yeah.
they're so refined that they do everything so well that you're doing over the speed limit, not that we are, but you're doing over the speed limit before you know it, because it doesn't feel like it.
No.
It's so controlled.
So quiet.
Yeah, and refined. I will say it feels different to being in a car. I don't know if it's the seating position, but in a Golf GTI of the same sort of age, it would feel, and this is a 12 plate, I think he said, and it would feel very, very different, but
well, it's
very different.
It's weird. It's like my van is basically a car or an estate.
Yeah.
So it feels like a car, but it's a van.
Same as this. Everything's been swapped over. Like even down to the steering wheel, it's got like it's obviously had the steering wheel controls all coded in.
That gear shift looks good.
It is so well. When you have a drive of it, it feels. It's a 6-speed.
It's a 6.
It sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does sound great. Pull over here, I want to.
Yeah.
Let's have a try.
Be my guest, be my guest. Right, let's go over it.
That is cool.
It is, isn't it? And it's a very well put together van. I wish I could remember. I'll get the name of the people that did the engine conversion because it's a super neat little swap.
Yeah, done a neat job of it.
It's not too loud and it's nice and standard.
Yeah, I like a van.
Do you like a van?
I like a van. 310 horse van.
That's it.
Right, let's have a swap skis.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is weird because you're really low in that seat.
I know.
It
has got adjustment here.
Smells nice in here. You can tell Stianagos have got their hands on it.
Yes, it smells nice because Cav's been in there with his gear.
Yeah, Cav's been in here with his gear. Backhander.
Backhander. It don't feel like a van, does it? Takes me getting used to the shifter.
Yeah, the shifter.
Very precise.
I want to test the
I've got to do some
them brakes.
Didn't they? See, I didn't come to a junction like quite as quick as that.
Them
but
brakes are
unbelievable.
Bloody unreal.
Yeah.
You can tell they're obviously Porsche.
Well, they're meant to stop a 2-ton car, and this is very far short of that.
A nice little gentle pass. Right. It's the sound of it all.
It sounds wicked, doesn't it? Oh, and it is a 6-speed as well, I found out.
Well, let's try it.
I took a bit of a gamble. There you go.
You took a gamble,
Yeah.
and you were right with that gamble.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Isn't it?
It's just like he uses this every day for work.
It's his van, and looks like he takes the kids around.
Junction. Bloody brakes on it.
Oh, they're mental.
They are some good brakes.
But they're like 390mm brakes on the front.
You know,
and
the one thing I wanted to try is because of the handling, because it's on bags.
because it's on air, yeah.
But that keeps it stable, doesn't it?
It's pretty even, yeah. Interestingly, if you've got a Volkswagen, I don't know much about this sort of side of things, but the Cayenne brakes bolted straight onto the front.
Really?
Straight on. Yeah, with the calipers, the discs, I think because they're 5x112, you had to use discs off a Merc, but the combination wasn't that complicated to put together. So I'm imagining you could do the Mark 5 Golf, Mark 6 Golf as well.
That gear shift is proper.
Man, it's nice, isn't it?
The thing is, whenever I come into one of these gear shifts, they're usually quite difficult to judge. Like in getting into neutral and changing gear.
Yeah, because it's very short as well,
But
isn't it?
it's proper simple, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. If I was going to have a small van to use every day, I would 100% build something like this.
Yeah, 100%. It is proper cool.
Very tidy as well.
It's just quiet. There's no rattles bangs. Which is like when you go in my van, you can hear all the creaking and everything
You
else.
want to hear creaking? Go in my Mark 1 Golf, mate.
Yeah, well.
It's like driving a toolbox for the tools around. And the bumper, he's done a lovely job on the front bumper. It's a Mark 7 GTI bumper.
Plastic welded, isn't it?
Yeah, he's cutting. Nice. He's cut it in 4 places to make it shape and fit, but it looks like it belongs on there.
Right, one more go.
It makes Golf GTI noises, but you're on the way to work.
That is cool as fudge.
Fudge, that's a new one.
Fudge. I like a bit of fudge.
Yeah, I've heard.
Sweet.
Always. There's always exterior noise when we roll the cameras. It'll be a helicopter.
Long running joke.
Or a jet, or something will come past. Anyway, so that was the GTI Caddy. They didn't even make one, but we've got one right here. Complete, what did you reckon, Stu?
Bloody drives lovely, well
Drives
built.
nice, well built, tidy car, gear shift was sweet, brakes are out of this world, and far exceed what you'd need for the road. But anyway, Gary, when you see this back, thank you so much for lending us your car today. Really appreciate it. Thanks very much for the time. If you like what you saw today, please like, please share, please subscribe, and hit the bell where you can. And also, if you know anyone that's got something that's got a mad engine swap that's a little bit different that you think we want to document, we want to share it. So please get in touch with us, hit us on social media. I'm All Gas No Brakes Owen on Instagram, Stu Hoy, Nick Simo, get hold of one of us. Fat Boy Hoy, and let us know. That would be great. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell where you can. That's your lot. Here comes a tractor. Again.